Okay, so I understand everyone is entitled to theories, their own headcanons, and love to see their own agendas in the shows that they watch. And first things first, this is not me bashing this particular theory or headcanon that apparently a good chunk of the Steven Universe community has. This is me sharing my opinions on said theory or headcanon. And really, I'm definitely against it. Just because I find it silly, this is definitely like the weirdest of all Steven Universe theories that are like legit serious theories. Weirder and sillier than Rose being Pink Diamond, or a lion being a corrupted gem, or a corrupted pink pearl, or a corrupted pink diamond, whatever the case. And that is the headcanon, the theory that Lars is a closeted transgender. And if this is your first time hearing that, you definitely heard that right. There is a good proportion of the Steven Universe fandom that believes that Lars is indeed a trans woman. That is their headcanon. Now, like I said, this isn't stupid. I'm not bashing it. Everyone's entitled to their own theories. And because a theory is a form of an opinion, it's a developed opinion. Everyone's opinions are validated. But I'm going to give my reasons on why I disagree with this theory, because people actually mentioned it to me quite a bit, and I just found the whole thing pretty ridiculous because we're 3 seasons in the show, no, 4 seasons now, and they already pretty much established what direction these characters are going to go and their arcs. So allegedly the basis of this theory stems from the episode Horror Club, and here's an image from a Tumblr post explaining that theory. The quote he says to Ronaldo about people not letting him see him like that, and him just getting really defensive over it, and Lars getting even more upset when Sadie said that it probably felt trapped in its own body. This combined with Lars always acting tough, his overcompensation of masculinity, his seemingly crush on Buck, him always kissing up the Buck, which, hey, the kid could just be gay or bi. Basically, all of this contributes to this theory of Lars being a transgender. And hey, Steven Universe pushes the boundaries of what a children's show can do, so it's likely, right? Well, no. Like, I don't know if this theory genuinely started out as a joke or if it's taken seriously. And either way, it's a theory, an opinion. You're not wrong for having it. But I feel as this has been brought to me multiple times, I can openly state why I dispute it and am against the theory. You know what Rebecca Sugar did before she even got on Adventure Time? She drew Ed, Edd n Eddy porn. Yeah, guys, don't be ashamed of what art you draw, because if Rebecca Sugar, with her big heart and her creative storytelling, can go from working on Adventure Time to making an amazing show like Steven Universe, despite drawing Ed, Edd n Eddy yaoi, you can fulfill your dreams, no matter what. It's just another reason why this woman is so inspiring. And I really hope I don't sound so sarcastic. I'm just talking a bit quieter. I genuinely do love Rebecca Sugar. Like, don't get that twisted, because I'm in the middle of disputing a theory. But anyways, Lars. The truth about Lars and his character is that he is the amalgam, the magnum opus of Ed, Edd n Eddy OCs. Like, legit. Rebecca Sugar loves Ed, Edd n Eddy. And Lars he's an Ed, Edd n Eddy OC. Like, it's blatantly obvious. She really doesn't try to hide it. Lars has many traits of Eddie, Kevin, etc. I think it's just mainly Eddie and Kevin. That's also why his voice actor talks in a distinctive way from all the other characters. If you haven't noticed, Lars talks like an Ed, Edd n Eddy character. The production in his voice projects like an Ed, Edd n Eddy character. His facial expressions are like an Ed, Edd n Eddy character. They're unique from anybody else in the show. And that's because he's a homage to Ed, Edd n Eddy. Lars is a jerk, like most of the cast of Ed, Edd n Eddy. A lot of the charm came from what arises from the mean-spirited humor of most of the characters. And honestly, shout out to Ed, Edd n Eddy. It's one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows of all time. Now, Steven Universe has character arcs, there are character development, and Lars has clearly been set in stone from the beginning. He's insecure, he's a jerk, he overcompensates, but that's not because he's trans. It's because he's a teenager. He's hormonal. He wants to be accepted. He clearly does not have that many friends. His character arc is going to be going from a jerk to a decent guy. And you think 3 seasons in, people would realize that. And the episode that really hammered that in is the new Lars. In the end, no one really cared that Steven took over Lars' body. They were just mad he was still being a jerk and didn't really change, even though he can change. He just chooses not to because of really the fact that he's a teenager. How many friends do you know who are horrible at expressing their emotions, their feelings, their thoughts, and act pretty assholes about it? Okay, so now, how many of them are transgender? I know I'm gonna get like 1 or 2, and that's fine, but the fact is, it's common. And here, if Lars was transgender, they really could exploit that in the new Lars when Steven was in his body. They could have had a scene where when Steven woke up in Lars' body, he found a diary from Lars. And it states in that diary, oh, you know, this is how I feel about myself. I don't feel like I am who I'm supposed to be. I don't feel like I'm a boy in a boy's body. I feel like a girl in a boy's body or something like that. Instead, Steven woke up in Lars' body, who clearly just finished masturbating. The new Lars, an episode where Steven is in Lars' body, would have been a great time to reveal that and exploit it, but they didn't because he... I don't want to upset anybody who strongly believes in this theory. I know I am anyways, because that's just how the internet works. But that episode would have been a better episode than any to have such a revelation because Steven was literally in Lars' body, and we follow the show from Steven's perspective. Also, a lot of people say that the flashback in Horror Club, Lars looks like a more of a tomboy because of his hair, because it's long. What? So now people can't have different hairstyles throughout the ages of their life without identifying as a different gender. Like I said, I don't want to call any theory stupid or anyone's opinion or belief stupid because that's just rude. And that's stupid in itself. And if it's a headcanon, then it's a headcanon. Like, headcanons can just simply exist. Like, for example, Steven's favorite cookie? My headcanon, it's peanut butter, because mine is peanut butter. And you can't take that away from me because it's my headcanon. Now, until the show comes out and says his favorite cookie is double chocolate chip, then headcanon obliterated. And that's why I don't believe Lars being transgender is a valid theory that has a lot of weight to it. The show didn't disprove by saying, oh yeah, I'm 100% boy. Because even then, fans would be like, oh, well, maybe he's in denial about it, or he's just trying to hide it. But they're disproving it, they're disputing it with his character arc. Don't get me wrong, I would love if Steven Universe had a transgender character, but they would have to introduce that character and establish that character from the start as a transgender. For example, Ruby and Sapphire were established from the start as lesbians, even though they're rocks. They don't actually have gender, so that way they can't technically be gay. But that important defining trait to them was established from the beginning. Why would they have such an important trait to Lars? Because let's face it, children's television or not, a transgender character is a pretty big deal. Why would they have such an important factor not be established from the beginning? It'd be a complete 360. It'd be out of the left field. Like, I would really rather have Steven, the character who has cross-dressed, raised by females. Because I don't care if the gems don't technically have genders, they're female. The boy who's extremely in touch in his feminine side, the boy who's literally his mom through her gem, I would accept that. And Steven being transgender over Lars being transgender, because at least with Steven, we've had moments where it could be possible. Aye. And that's not saying I believe Steven is transgender. I'm just saying I would literally take that any day over the theory that Lars is trans, because it's ridiculous. It's like, oh, hey, you know, Ruby has an afro. Ruby kind of has a raspy voice, so what if Ruby is actually a male gem, Like, no, it's established Ruby is a female. And that would take people off because they're like, well, that ruins a core theme of the show, right? Not saying Lars being a jerk and a everyday teenager is a core part of the show, but he's part of what Beach City is. Everyday people with everyday struggles. And that's not me saying transgender and identity isn't an everyday struggle, because it is. I'm saying Lars would be the most inappropriate character to tell that story with. If you can somehow rationalize this theory to me, and with concrete evidence and a concrete argument, because apparently a lot of people follow this theory and strongly believe in it, please just comment down below. Explain to me why you feel this way. I'm gonna go finish my Dairy Queen. Shrek Vox. Oh my god. See you guys in the next video.